I have been joined by Daniella Mavis Mathias, who is he's the part of the national communicating team of the NDC. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Joyce Zempare, who is the Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP. Good morning.
Good morning.
We haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
So take a look at our first story here. I'm reading from the Daily Graphic, and it says 78% of promises delivered, Vice President. So Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has said the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration has kept faith with Ghanaians, with all indications pointing to a country on the rise. With about 10 months left for the government to end its 4-year mandate, the Vice President said that the administration has delivered on 78% of the 388 promises it made during the 2016 elections. So I'll walk you through some of the things that he said there. So I'm going to quote the Vice President. He says, "The incontrovertible evidence show that the cedi is the best performing currency against the major trading currencies in the first term of any government under the Fourth Republic. The exchange rate under this government is twice as stable as that which was under the NDC. The cedi is now the best performing currency in the world. In fact, in the history of the Fourth Republic, President Akufo-Addo has the best performance for any first-term government since 1992. All the worst performances happened under the NDC, which holds the record for first, second, and third worst performances in the Fourth Republic, but they still want to challenge the best performer." He goes on to, talk about other things, but I will want to hear your thoughts on what the Vice President said first, and then I'll take Joyce's response.
I thought that since Joyce is in government, is in power, I believe that she will be the right person to re-emphasize what Vice President...
But what are your thoughts on what the Vice President said in yesterday's town hall meeting in general?
In summary, it's laughable.
How?
It's very laughable. You see, I honestly speaking, as a Ghanaian, as a mother, and as a woman, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia has not been truthful to the people of this country.
Okay.
He has peddled falsehood and lies, and I'll prove to you in the course of our discussion. You see, it is not about you and I, or the three of us here, but it is about the thousands of drivers, the drivers out there. It is also about the market woman, and it is also about the contractors, the workers of this country. What he said, are they feeling it in their pocket? That is what is important.
Okay.
Yes. So I would, when the time comes, I'll break it down for you and let you know that. I mean, he has said so many things that I'll prove to you on this set that he just peddled falsehood and lied to the good people of this country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me say good morning to yourself and your crew, and then our viewers for making time to listen to us. Not that we are the best, but for God and country to Jojo. And let me say good morning, Mr. President, with your able Vice President who is leading the affairs of this country for the betterment of its people. We know it's not for anything that the good Lord chose them at this right time to salvage all what Ghanaians are going through. Well, he has said it. I know yesterday was a day for Ghanaians to reflect on where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are leading to. And that is what every man needs to take account of your livelihood, your lifestyle, everything that you do. And that's exactly what the Vice President did yesterday at the town hall meeting in Kumasi. And like in the Griship, as they say, Chikabatia, truth is, you understand, truth is very hard to be told. And depends on where one is standing, whether to come along with you or not. But he has put the facts there. He said, look, this is it. When we had once upon a time, we had a certain president telling us he has an evidence-based economy, flying somebody all the way from the north to Accra just to tell us they gave the person 90 Ghana cedis, I stand to correct of the amount, to start a pig farm, and yet that was an evidence. But this is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President of the Republic, have told us, and he's giving us websites and things to go. All what you can't just say he's peddling falsehood, he's peddling lies without delving into the nitty-gritty of what he said. It is there for us to Jojo. It is there for us. At least we are not saying, like he said, he made mention of it. We are not saying we are a government of 100% perfection. Whatever we do as human beings, there might be fallout here and there, but it depends on us sitting at the table like this, discussing, criticizing whatever comes to bear. In fact, we are bound for criticism. When you have people criticizing you, when you allow yourself for critique, that will also help you in your projections towards the future. And that is what we are open to. So he's saying that this is what we've given to Ghanaians, but we are not saying we have done everything. We are not going to look into the old storybook where we say we have the Midas touch, that whatever we touch is going to turn into gold. But we know with the prayers and support of Ghanaians, we're going to move from one end to the other.
Excellent. So we'll take a look at one of the things the Vice President said yesterday. He says, critics of double-track system have no alternative. I'm reading from citinewsroom.com, and of course, that's the Vice President. He says, the question we have faced when we tried implementing this free SHS policy was, if we do not have enough infrastructure, how can we tell whose child should stay at home and whose child should go to school? In response to this challenge, we introduced the innovative double-track system as a temporary solution to the problem while we introduce new schools. This is a temporary solution while we build more and more schools to do this. So I will say it is better to educate a child even under a tree than to let them be sitting at home. Those who are criticizing the double-track system have not been able to offer one alternative. They will just say, I will abolish the double-track system, but they will not tell you what they will replace it with. And they cannot tell because abolishing double track means abolishing free SHS. So your response to what the Vice President is saying about free SHS.
But then I'll come back.
Go ahead.
Would we come back to
You can come back to it.
Okay. No, not this very one. The CD and all the stuff that But with regards to the free SHS, honestly speaking, Dr. Bawumia, unfortunately, is not being truthful to the good people of this country.
How so?
Because when you say that we, the NDC, led by President John Dramani Mahama, wherever he is, God bless him, he's a very calm person, he's focused, he's peaceful, and that is what we are thriving on. And we know that his past record is going to win him the 2020 election come December 7th. You see, the double-track system that we are talking about, when we are talking about access, quality access, you are talking about children sitting under a tree and you think that there is nothing wrong with it. We have built a lot of e-blocks scattered across the country, the length or breadth of this country. They have been abandoned in the bush. And you as Vice President Bawumia is a father, you have the audacity to tell Ghanaians, the good people of this country, that we don't have any alternative to offer. It is laughable.
What's the alternative?
We will continue within the first 100 days. We are going to continue the e-blocks that President Mahama started, and the ones that are already completed, we are going to move all the children into the schools. All the other campuses that have land space for us to put up a building there, we are going to do that. And you see, that when it comes to the free SHS, sweetheart, let me indulge me a little. You see, we are using the revenue, the oil revenue for the free SHS. And that is what Vice President Bawumia should have told Ghanaians, but he didn't. If you look at the budget allocation for Parliament, the ones that were approved, so for every year, we get 3.2 billion from the oil revenue. And from 2007 up to 2008, we have a total of 3,600 billion.
You mean 2017, 2018? Okay.
We have 6.6 billion. 2019 is not part of it. But when you add 2019, it goes up to about 10 billion and over.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that within that time, in 2017, 400 million was allocated for free SHS. In 2018, 1.2 billion, and all this, you can find it from Parliament. And then in 2019, 1.6 billion was located for free HSH, making a total of 3.2 billion for free SHS. It means that we have in excess about
almost 4 billion for free SHS.
Almost 5 billion for free SHS. That is sitting there and nobody knows what they are using the money for.
But isn't it a worthy investment in human capital?
But I'll come there, let me land. Okay. What I'm saying is that Vice President Bawumia and the NPP governments with Nanado have no excuse to allow the children of this country to even go under double track, because the money, the balance that is left out of the oil revenue can build, the Terminal 3. It can build, it can build about 15 of the Terminal 3. Even if you are building, let's say 200,000 classroom blocks, you will use the remaining of this revenue money to build those blocks. So the children have no right doing double track, and parents have to pay for hostels. Parents have to pay for extra tuition. So it is costing parents more. And now, recently, there was this video that was shown, went viral, about this school, I don't want to mention their name, that were all over, and engaging in social vices and all that kind of stuff. What we are saying is that I'm a parent. Double track, it is just bad. Accept it. Free SHS, we started it. We have never seen anything wrong with it. We started it in 2015. Even President Citi Online, it is there. President Nanado congratulated President Mahama for starting it. You can check it. So we have never said that free SHS is bad.
So the alternative would be building more infrastructure.
We have built, but they have abandoned it. They have left it in the bush for the wheat and for the building to rot. And children are running double track just because you don't want to give credit to President Mahama. Because when you were campaigning, you were seeing a whole lot of things that were not true about
now
it.
Your response to how well the economy is doing under President Nana Akua Akufo-Addo.
My sister, you see, the Ghana cedis, according to the paragraph 90
which document are you reading?
The budget. It says Ghana cedi recorded a cumulative depreciation of 9.6%, 5.3% against the US dollar and the euro respectively. Why is President Bawumia lying to Ghanaians?
How is he lying?
President Bawumia said that the cedi depreciated 13.7% in 2019. And that is not true. It is there. It is not true. When it comes to the dollar, President Bawumia said that in 2016, before we left, NDC left power, the dollar was 4.2. Today, the dollar is 5.6. If I'm a businesswoman, in 2016, I used to I used to do my business or travel outside to bring goods with 42 Ghana cedis to give me $10,000. Now I have to change 56,000 Ghana cedis to give me $10,000. What have they done to the cedi? They have rather destroyed the livelihood of the very people who voted for them, the businessmen and women that they promised. They promised that they were going to move from taxation to production. What are we seeing today? 50% increment in communication tax, and then 5% increment in tax behind the door, behind the back door. You see, contractors were promised that within the first 100 days of Nanado's government, they were going to be paid. And as at now, they have not been paid. And I told you that enjoyed me a little. You see, the question about tariffs, the increment, President Bawumia lied that they are the only government that have reduced electricity tariffs in this country.
Vice President Bawumia.
Sorry, Vice President Bawumia, and that is not factual. In if you look at November 2013, if you look at November 2013, the NDC government led by President Mahama reduced electricity tariffs by 25%. My Joy Online carried this story. It is there. Then in June 2015, there was another reduction of 10%. That one is also there. The simple question that I want Ghanaians and all of us to ask Vice President Bawumia, if you can indulge me and I can call him Dr. Bawumia, indulge me, is that what has changed? Have they fulfilled the promise that they gave to the good people of this country? Have they fulfilled those promises? The answer is no. Rather, they have increased tariffs and the conditions of Ghanaians have become worse. If you look at according to the 2019 1st October tariff reckoner, we used to buy 150 units electricity for 88 Ghana cedis. Today, currently, as I'm speaking to you, this is 2019 October.
Well, they initially decreased it and then they increased the tariffs, right?
But what I am saying is that I am giving you, indulge me. Within when we were in power, you have to use 88 Ghana cedis to buy 150 units of tariffs. Today, as we are speaking, according to the tariff record, you will need 93 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
What has happened? Have they improved our life condition? And the question I want to ask...
So it's gone up by five.
It's gone up, but
5 cedis.
Look, my sister, go to the street right now.
In 3 years.
Go to the street right now and go and ask somebody that they should dash you 5 cedis or dash somebody 5 cedis. You see the way they will hug you. The system is hard. And then one question I want to ask Dr. Bawumia is that, and Nanado is that, what have they added since they came to power? What have they added to the energy sector? What is their contribution? We contributed about 31% from 58% to 83%. That was our contribution. Annually, we were adding up 4.0%. 3 years, annually, they've been adding on 0.5%. So Vice President Bawumia, he should please come again. You see, they said that they solved doing so. My sister, when we have power deficits, when we have seasonal challenges, when there is demand, there's demand for energy, definitely we'll have problems. And these problems have been happening since God knows how long now. And so President Mahama was faced with a challenge. And as a visionary leader, when he came, what did he do? He solved the problem. 2015, Dunso was solved. And what I want to ask Vice President Bawumia is that if my sister wants, he should bring fact what they have added to the national grid. That is what Ghanaians want to know.
So we have to go for a quick break, and then I'll allow you wrap up so that Joyce Zempare can respond. Is that okay?
All right.
This is still Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you want us to hear what you're thinking, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. Our WhatsApp line is 05505858832. You can send us messages directly. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. Again, if you want us to hear from you, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. And the WhatsApp line is 05505858832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. I still have with me Joyce Zempare, who's the Deputy Director of Communications for the NPP, and Daniella Mavis Mathias, who is the National Communications Team member of the NDC. And before the break, we were discussing Vice President Bawumia saying government has delivered on 78% of its promises. And Mavis was clarifying some things for us, but kindly wrap up for us so that we hear from
President Nanado, for instance, when he formed the 40-member committee, Vice President Bawumia was nowhere to be found. It was an obvious case that Nanado himself, President Nanado,
Which committee is this?
The 40-member committee to rescue the dollar. The dollar in itself has no respect for...
The FX committee?
The dollar has no respect for Dr. Bawumia's economic theories. So you can see clearly that even at the presidency, even at the seat of government, Nanado has lost trust in President Bawumia. They promised us 1 million each constituency. Have they sent those money? Till now, 3 years, we are in the 4th year. They have not sent the money. President Mohammed's worst performance, according to CPI report, worst performance in 2016 was 43. Okay. President Nanado's best performance, according to the CPI report, in 2019, currently as a stand, is 41.
So it's all about corruption, perception
corruption, exactly. Okay. And then we talk about Galamsey.
Okay.
Flying excavators today in Ghana can fly.
Okay.
It has never happened in this country. I have never seen it before. Now we have the chairman, the national chairman. We have John Bwedu. We have Chairman Wuntumi,
and all those are allegations.
People, but we have video. We have, and they have not come out.
Okay.
To say anything about it.
Okay.
So it means that the Galamsey corruption is embedded. It is with them. President Akufo-Addo's promise to fight corruption and President Akufo-Addo's promise to make sure that he will put his presidency on the line when it comes to the fight against Galamsey, it was just mere rhetoric and mere lies. Because his own people, how come he has not sent the case to the special prosecutor to handle it?
Fortunately or unfortunately, we're not discussing Galamsey today, but I will allow Joyce because it's all part of the economy.
It's part of the economy.
So
and it is
kindly wrap up for us.
It's our livelihood.
Yes.
Because water, go to Secondary Takrade right now. They are rationing water. According to Ghana Water, they are supposed to produce about 12 million gallons. As at now, they are producing less than 5 million gallons of water. So water is very, very important in this cause.
Thank you.
So Vice President Bawumia, you see, he has lied and lied and lied. And you continue to lie because I'm sure that is what he's good for.
Thank you very much. Joyce.
Well, the good people of Ghana knows that this is a man who speaks the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay.
It is for Ghanaians to assess him and not for the NDC. Well, they are also Ghanaians, but it is their right. It is one thing, assuming power, they decide to tag the man with lies and so holding. I wonder why they're still not seeing it and to move away from it and debate the man on issues just than tagging him. Well, a quick one on the Galamsey one. The president had, in fact, the sector minister had reported a case. People have been arrested, and I think, like government has said, we should allow the laws to take its course. Whoever perpetrated in any crime in one way or the other and found culpable will be dealt with by the law. Because it is one dear thing to the president, looking from where he's coming, that look, our water bodies cannot suffer. We cannot, like in 2015, when water bodies, that union said, look, if we are not careful by 2022, Ghana will start importing water. It is his passion to make sure that we don't go into that. Here we live, people go contrary to the laws, and he said, look, let the laws deal with them. So that one, they shouldn't worry. The excavators will be found. Whoever is involved, is found to be involved in it, will be dealt with. We don't want a situation where people arrested excavators and up to now, they could not account for. At least we have figures we can turn around and work around with. So we are okay with it. Now the 1 million per constituency. My sister, it is not money president the government said he was going to put down for people to be shared. Yesterday I was listening to one NDC that, look, go into the constituency, get into the street and ask people whether they've had a feel of the 1 million. It is for specific projects. And you know, the one ambulance per one constituency, the place of convenience that they were building, one warehouse per constituency. All those things were, and then the astroturfs and other things that they were producing are all funds that they form a committee within constituencies to give priority to programs that they want to run, and that money is channeled into those programs. So it's not money that is going to be given to an MCE, a DCE, an MP to be dishing out to people. No. Now, power generation, my sister. We know when we experience doom so here, anytime I've had the opportunity to be on this program or any other place, the MPP stand has been that it is not about adding on to the power plants we have, but it is a generating rate because government could not afford to generate, because we have a country that we have when you put the total generation plant together, we were estimated to produce about 3,200 megawatts. And even with that, Ghana did not need all those 3,200 megawatts. While our estimated usage was about 2,700 megawatts. So we said, look, if we're able to produce enough energy, we will have excesses to even sell out. But the challenges of the government then was, when they were owing Nigeria gas, they were owing other oil companies. And for that matter, there was no funding for them to pump into the generation processes. And that was our argument. So it is not just adding on when you have no usage for it. Now, 2013, she spoke about tariff reduction in electricity. Yeah. Let me read out. In 2013, like he said, the then government increased the electricity tariff by 78%. It took 2UC and other pressure group to show their displeasure and to put pressure on government. And that is when they reduced it by 25%. Go to my Joy online and you have the same story there. That the pressure that TUC and other pressure groups put on government, that is when they reduced the tariffs by 25%, leaving a hoping number of 59.13. You understand? So if you come to compare that with MPP came and we did reduce the tariff by 20, almost, let me get the figure right. I don't want to.
Go ahead,
don't worry.
Take your time.
Let me take my time and I'll give you everything. And then, let me say we did reduce it by 20, it was about 22%. And then it was increased 11%,
somewhere in June.
As we speak, you have an excess of about 9% hanging if we even have to take the old figure. So that means this is a government that, look, allow me to go ahead. Don't worry, you can bring your facts, you can bring your figures. So we are here
please wrap up for us.
So soon.
Go ahead. No, I want you to wrap up.
Now,
we move on to the next.
On free SHS and then the double track, I can't live without saying that.
Okay.
Since 2007, when the President of the Republic of Ghana was then candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his campaign started that look, it was time that Ghana and the good children of Ghana enjoy free senior high school. We had our people then, they ran 32 adverts. 32 adverts opposing the free senior high school. You know the famous Potogum Shegum adverts and others. Then you have the late Lee Okran saying, look, it's only achievable after 20 years. You had NDC minister, MPs, just mention names, who ran down the free SHS idea, only for them to come to power. And they realize that it is resonating with the Ghanaian people that, yes, the time has come for us to enjoy the free senior school. Coming from the north, my sister, when Nkrumah sent free SHS to the north, he had not built every school in every corner. Yet our good people, the then sitting president, the former president of the NDC, and now the flag bearer of the NDC, his father had all the opportunity. He said in my first coup d'etat that he was in Achimota Secondary School, but his father wanted him to enjoy free senior high school, took him to the north, Tamale, for him to also enjoy free senior high school. We know a number of their MPs and former ministers who also enjoy free senior high school. They should come and tell me how many of them had senior high schools with every complete building that you're talking about. We are not saying it is not part of government project. Government is in the process. They have started. Look, she said we abandoned. The Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Educhum, said, look, with assuming power, we have completed 57 of the G blocks. Some are under some percentage of progress. And we expect that by the end of this year, at least, even if not all, about 70% of it should be completed. And government on its own has started building other schools, projects in other schools. And then let me take you back. Let's revisit Kufuor's introduction of the model school project. You know, President Kufuor then started this model school project where he intended to expand other schools, give them massive facilities to make it a model school to its current standard. You understand? And the government of today is also adopting this style, this strategy to make sure that, look, we don't have the Adisadors, the Chimotes, the Fansipums, and so forth. Girls, yeah. At least within every community, if we can have one model school, that we can get our people within our community. It is about your projection into the future.
Please wrap up for us.
Anyway, I understand. I know, I understand. So I want people to understand, like the president said, the vice president said rightly, we can't afford to let people live in the house. Whose child should be left out?
Okay.
Every child, every Ghanaian matters. And for that matter, we will make sure that we put them into school to acquire knowledge to the whatever it is given to them at home. Ignorance. Look, they say if you want to see how expensive education, try ignorance.
Thank you.
Look, and like, let me quote Nelson Mandela. He said, look, if you want to develop your country, you need to educate your people. Today's giants of the world we're talking about, Japan and the rest, took education as their number one priority to developing the people. And when you're able to develop the human capital, that is where you intend to develop
they
the
don't
workers.
disagree with the education, but they're just saying that you need to increase the infrastructure. So I think we're all on the same page with education.
We are doing that.
Okay.
So
you're saying we are completing the blocks.
Of course.
That's fair.
And
that's
as
fine.
much as we are completing the blocks and doing new ones, we are not going to leave the children
Okay.
go.
Thank you.
I say I'm also a mother. I'm also a parent.
Yeah.
I'm even a grandmother. You understand? So I understand the...
Thank you very much.
I understand the pains of parents to see your child.
Thank you.
And it's better to put your child for somebody to be there and to be teaching the person to be under surveillance. Than to leave
We do have to move on to the next topic, but I will give you the opportunity to respond briefly, and then we'll move on to the next topic. No, you won't get a chance to respond. It wasn't to you, then we'll move on to the next topic. Thank you. It's okay.
You see, I want my Joyce to mention, she said Nanado promised 300 schools. I want Joyce. She has mentioned 57 e-blocks. I want her to mention one.
One of the completed e-blocks.
One of the completed e-blocks.
Okay. Let me get you one.
She'll get it ready. But I'll get it for you. Yeah, she'll get it for you before the program ends.
I want you to get it for me.
That's fine. So she'll get it.
And then NDC never said that when we come, we were going to stop
get rid of free SSS.
No, we said we are going to fix the problem.
Okay.
And when it comes to from Jerry John Rawlings up to the time NDC left power, our educational record cannot be compared to any government. Let's make that fact clear. And President Mahama has said that the 6 newly created region, he's going to make vocational training free. And we are going to create universities. Indulge me, please. You are allowed.
Yes.
We are going to build universities to take care of the TVET students in the 6 newly created region. But you see, this forum was held in Kumasi. By Vice President
Bawumia,
Dr. Bawumia. What I want them to tell me is what project, they should mention one major project they have done in Kumasi.
Okay.
They should mention one major project they have done in Kumasi. We can board, President Mahama can board of the KJTR market, Tafo market, Asawasi market, Atonsu market. In health, we can board of the Sewa Hospital, Tepa Hospital, Afari Military Hospital, Konongo Hospital. In roads, we can board about the Swami roads, Tafu roads. Do you want me to go on?
No, we get the point.
We can go education. We built in Kumasi alone. We built 13 community day and senior high school. I can mention one. The Agric Nzema Community Day School, Adanse Community Day School. We have the records. The Kumasi that they held the forum there, my sister, they should tell us what major infrastructure or what major road project they have done in Kumasi for them to travel all the way and go and lie to the good people of this country. The deceit and the lies must stop, my sister. They should stop.
Thank you very much. And on that note, if you're watching us, don't forget that the hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 05505858332. If you're outside Ghana, country code is +233. I'll now move on to our next topic here. It says depositors of savings and loans microfinance schemes to receive payment. That story is on page 5 of the Finder. Vice President Dr. Mamudu Bawumia on Tuesday assured depositors of defunct savings and loans and microfinance institutions whose funds had been locked up of full payment of their deposits. So I'm going to quote what he said. All depositors of these institutions, as the microfinance and savings and loans companies, will receive 100% refund of their deposits since this was of no fault of theirs. So it's come from the Vice President, and this is really great news for all the depositors who saved with these microfinance institutions and savings and loans companies. So Joyce, your thoughts on this microfinance, because we know people have been frustrated. They're getting paid 1,000 cedis a month when they've saved 200,000 cedis, 200,000 cedis with these institutions. So how big of a deal is this?
My sister, I had discussed this thing at length on various platforms. When all of a sudden you saw the mushrooming of microfinances in this country, it was something I was calling on the Bank of Ghana to set up because it was scary. It got to a point every 20, 50 meters away, you see a microfinance. And you see the number of persons grouped there doing deposits and going for a withdrawals and things. And I have seen people, I have heard the testimony of people, the pain they've gone through after depositing an amount of money and being told that they will be given loans and other things, and they are denied of it. Even for them to have a refund of their deposits had been a challenge. I had called on the Bank of Ghana. If you can play back some of my discussions on this, where I had called on the Bank of Ghana to come clean. Because one thing about this country is that we lack the strength, the tenacity when it comes to monetary and evaluation. It has been one major problem. I asked myself, look, who do you blame? You blame the key number one stakeholder or sector, that's the Bank of Ghana. When they saw all this mushrooming of microfinances and things, what did they do? But Dr. Bawumia, in his address or in his presentation, made references to some of the challenges and things that came out in the closing down of some of this microfinance. Fake registration documentation, siphoning of clients' funds. Because, look, I tell you, if this government hasn't stepped in, my sister, the number of clients or depositors who were going to suffer of their monies being locked up and not being given them to I have a sister-in-law. As of 2016, her son was going to the university, and she had gone to, I don't want to mention her if I'm entitled to mention.
No, you don't have to. Go ahead.
She had gone seeking for her own, she was not even looking for loan, but just for them to give her money she had deposited in the account. As we speak, they never gave her the money. My junior brother, his organization, their unions funds, his church youth fund, and all those things, he did deposited them. And as we speak, for 4 years, they can't account for the money. They can't do any withdrawal, nothing.
So you are happy that finally?
Oh yes. In fact, once a while the system needs to be sanitized and things put. In fact, not just sanitizing and getting people closing down and then leaving it to bear. And I'm happy that people are being held before the law court and being dealt with. And we know that they've given it up for people, for them to auction the properties. But I think that will not be enough. And I think government has made provision to top up some of the funds to make sure that the good people of Ghana receive their funds.
Thank you very much. Daniella.
Yes, my dear. Again, under this microfinance, this is a deliberate wickedness and high-handed regulatory failures. This is deliberate wickedness. Look, you come and you claim that you have spent close to about 16 billion Ghana cedis to collapse the bank. Doesn't make sense. I'm not a finance person.
Not collapse the banks, but reform the sector.
Reform how? People have lost their jobs. High-handed regulatory failures. When you came in, according to what my sister Joyce said, there were people that did not go through the due process and all that. What do? Empower the institutions for them to work. Do you have to collapse those microfinance?
Well, some people were accused of flat-out stealing from depositors.
So go after those people.
Okay. Isn't that what's being done?
No, they have closed down all those microfinance companies and some about 9
so
banks.
Go after the people, don't close the institutions.
Don't close the institution. Allow the state institutions to work. And that is what we are calling for. It is not as if we were sitting there aloof and we're happy about what was happening. Even when this microfinance and all these banks were closed, under President Mahama, they were not closed, but we were still producing. Today, from the time Nkrumah came up to date, from Kwame Nkrumah's time to the time President Mahama left power, the total debt was 120. But today, as we speak, it's over 214.5. Over 62% increment. My sister, what I am saying is that if you can borrow about close to 110 billion Ghana cedis and you have nothing to show for, but you can spend 16 billion of that money to close banks. Why didn't you use that fund to inject and make the institution stronger and protect depositors' money?
Someone will say they were reforming the sector, but we do have to move on. So please
indulge me 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yes, okay.
This has, as a result of this harsh initiative by President Nanado, people have lost their jobs. Look, according to MyJoy Online, when you go to MyJoy Online, even Citi Online, Vodafone has laid about 1,500 workers. About 400 workers of Tema Steel Factory have lost their job. About contract with TV3, even your sister station TV3, have lost their job.
Those are all connected to the financial sector clean up. So it wasn't necessarily...
No, my sister. Do you know that...
We do have to move on to the next topic, unfortunately.
No, you said something. This microfinance has even affected people who were running normal printing. Advertising.
Anytime there's a shake-up in the economy, it will affect everybody.
But what we are saying is that the measures are just too high.
Okay.
You cannot use 16 billion cedis of taxpayers' money to collapse a bank.
To clean up a sector, an entire sector.
Okay. Once you have collapsed the institution, once you have collapsed the bank, you have made people lose their jobs. That is what we are talking about.
Thank you. We have messages from our viewers. I do have to read the messages, Joyce. Afi says here, what is the essence of performing economy when it doesn't reflect in its lifestyle of the people? The vice president is behaving like a student who marks his own script after an exam without waiting for the teacher. I love your panelists for today's show. Okay, I love them too. Good morning, Madam Hose. The MPP government should stop deceiving themselves and Ghanaians that they have achieved more. It's a shame to them because ordinary Ghanaians know the truth and one bad term deserves no second term, period. This is coming from Echo in Takoradi. So we'll take a look at our final story here and then we would move on to what our next segment is for Breakfast Daily. So I'm reading from the Chronicle, actually, and it says, evacuate stranded Ghanaians in China now. That's coming from the minority. The minority is calling for the government to evacuate stranded Ghanaians in China. The minority caucus in Parliament has given the Akufo-Addo government a 3-day ultimatum to evacuate Ghanaian students in China to protect and prevent them from acquiring the deadly coronavirus. The Honorable Ablakwa, who is the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, said that there are just 400 students in China. So if we really, especially Wuhan, to be specific, so if we want to get them out, we can actually get them out, because when we had the issues in Libya, the civil war, we actually brought back 16,000 Ghanaians. So if our Ghanaian people are struggling with this coronavirus threat in China, we need to bring the students back, especially those in Wuhan. Joyce.
Yeah.
How far are we getting the students back to Ghana?
Well, this coronavirus and its intricacies. In fact, it's a worrying story, because every day when you wake up and you look at the number of deaths too, that is something that we all need to be worried about. And it's affecting the economy in terms of trade. Instead of trade, what do you call
agreements
and things. In fact, you meet people on the street saying, "Our businesswomen, look, we can't
go to China because we're afraid."
I don't want to be misquoted, but this is to tell us that, look, we need to produce more from.
So that we don't go abroad.
We don't go
But
abroad.
these are students. They're educating
no,
themselves.
I'm not talking about
traders. Okay, you're not talking about the minority. Okay, what about the students?
No, the students, it's very, very important because day in, day out, we have exchange programs. We have to go out there to source knowledge and things. So it is a wealthy cause. I think this one I support the minority for saying that we need to get our students back because the more we leave them there, the more we open them up to this deadly disease that is out there. You can say maybe where they are is far from there. But I believe evacuating them back home, we have to take processes. Yeah. We have to make sure who has been affected. If none, what are the processes to make sure that even from where they are, evacuating them from there to a safe place, there to the airport, and also because, you know, most international airlines have stopped flying into China. So that's also one major challenge. We should see whatever we can do to bring our own home, because if other developing countries, they would have done that. Yeah. And there's one thing that we need to also send information out to let our people know that this is the time that we should sit back and not move in. I have people who call and say, look, they are ready to go to China. I say, look, you can do that because you put yourself at risk. Yeah. And we should do that to prevent anybody from going to China now.
Thank you very much, Joyce.
But let me give
Daniella,
you just
your
one
thoughts on this coronavirus. Honorable Ablakwa in the minority asking for students to come back to Ghana, especially those in Wuhan.
I think Nanado and the MPP governments, they are dragging their feet on this issue. Okay. And as Joyce rightly said, this is a matter of urgency, and our students, our children, and some of them are even very old, that went there to study. They should make sure they bring, if a country, a war-torn country like Libya, can evacuate. Well, that was an example of the Libyan civil war and us moving.
You see, please let me finish. I know. I'm fine. And please continue.
If a country like Libya can evacuate their people from China.
No, okay, you continue.
From China, and then bring them, and then other countries, other African countries are doing same. And then, my dear,
the Libya was an example that during their civil war, we evacuated our people, but not that they are going to Joyce, allow me to clarify.
Yes, you see,
please continue.
Even the Libya issue,
the civil war we brought.
If you allowed me to land. Somewhere 2012, 2011, we evacuated about 16,000 Ghanaians from Libya. We evacuated about 16,000 Ghanaians from Libya. You see,
and these are just 600 people.
Just about 400. About 400 students. You see, my dear, if a president can spend 63 million Ghana cedis on foreign travels, the aircraft that he uses, $17,000 per hour on foreign travels, and they can spend vice president and the president Nanado spend 1.9 million each for refreshment at the Flagstaff House, and they do not care about the whereabouts and the livelihood of the students in China, then it is pathetic. You see, I heard from one of the students that they send them $4,200 for them to use it to buy more nose masks and certain things that they need there. About 3 weeks now, they have run out of it. But meanwhile, we live in this country that our president thinks that living a lavish lifestyle is more important. That we think that the people of this country, we do not know what is happening. You see, this coronavirus thing, if people are coming from China, every day, it is even more dangerous for those that are coming.
And we're setting in place measures to ensure that, of course, they don't get in here. But unfortunately, we have run out of time.
How would we know?
Yes.
According to
we have run out of time.
If these people come, you
Daniella
can
Mavis Mathias is the National Communications Team member of NDC.
You see, it's not easy.
And Joyce Zempare is the Deputy Director of Communications for NPP. Thank you both so much for being with us.
We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends. This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.